Recording.
Okay. So the thing that drew your character off on this little side adventure, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
was that after your previous shopping experience, so this would be the following,
Yes.
let's say, basically a day after your little shopping excursion,
Yes.
You received a note with the symbol, with a symbol drawn at the top of the note that simply said, "Meet me at the pit."
Hmm.
The symbol is a teardrop
Mm.
wrapped in a web,
Mm-hmm.
which is the I believe it was a pendant that you picked up.
The from in the cave.
Yes, from in the mine.
Okay, so this is the Crimson Crescent.
No,
No, was this?
no. That was the one with the C-shaped thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
You
of the other.
received another. It was, I don't think we described it in great detail. I think it was because it was when you climbed down.
Oh, the shiny trinket
The
was.
shiny trinket is
Yes.
a teardrop shaped piece of crystal wrapped in a silver web
Interesting.
with a latch piece at the top so that it can be worn as a pendant.
Mm.
The symbol on the top of the note matches that shape.
Okay.
When you finished your shopping excursion, you had asked around, you'd done some investigation,
Mm-hmm.
and you found out that the pit is actually a relatively well-known food and drink establishment
Mm-hmm.
in Rockvale
Okay.
that some believe was the original quarry from when the town started.
Interesting.
However, that's strictly anecdotal. There's no indication that that's true or not. What
Okay.
is true is that the pit is underground.
Okay. Makes
Not
sense.
not the underground club that no one knows about. It's literally down below other buildings.
Hmm.
You have to actually head more towards the southern end of town, which is definitely it's definitely headed towards the less expensive end of town. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not in any way known to be a particularly rough neighborhood, if you will. But it's not exactly like the town watch doesn't get through here a lot. They're through here a lot because sometimes things happen. I presume that you are going to head there.
Yes, I will. I will head there, keeping my wits about me.
So when you find your way down that street, you do see it's about midway down a street, and there are a number of taller shops and things on either side of the street, and you see this opening in what appears to be the stone wall base of a taller shop. Like the stone comes up to about just above the first flourish, kind of like 8-ish, 10 feet, something like that.
Mhm.
And the rest of the shop is built there. And there's a door opening that essentially looks like a cave that leads into the darkness. And there is a sign carved into the stone
Mhm.
beside the opening that simply says the pit. And you do recognize on the side of the sign, on the side of the wall near the sign, there is actually a symbol that you recognize from being in the mine earlier
Mhm.
that basically says down. It's the same similar down arrow to the one that you were accustomed to seeing when you were in the mine.
Got it. So, would it be reasonable to assume that similar kind of patrons inhabit this? They also go to the pit. Am I going to run into miners and such, or is this not that kind of establishment?
You didn't get any information on who would or would not be here.
Okay.
It was more about you were trying to figure out pit,
Where?
where, what, who, what about, well, why would I go there?
I've been in a lot of holes in the ground the last few days.
Which one?
Exactly.
You do see it's because it's evening, it does seem to be that there are fewer people on the street. Most
Mhm.
people are headed either home or to get something to eat or things like that, but there's not a ton of activity at the pit right now. You don't
Fair
see
enough.
people going in and out. So, to our map.
Yes. Our map.
Oh, interesting. I move mine, yours doesn't move. I'm going to be distracted by the fact that I can see yours on the other screen.
That is reasonable.
But it
Ah,
does give me an excellent view of what you can and can't see. That's kind of neat.
yes. I am. You get the player's POV for this. Azathan, Azathan, kick your ass like no one can. That's a lot of shit to talk for a dude who's level 2, but fair enough.
Okay. Um, when you get there to the entry, you could see the stairs. There are stairs that lead down to a
Uh-huh.
platform hooked to the left. They
Mhm.
are. It is all carved stonework. It is hand hewn. Kind of. We chopped our way through right here. Um, there's basically nobody working the door as you've seen at other places. Some places will have somebody sort of hanging around the front door, but that's not the case here.
Mm. All
But
right.
you do hear a number of voices. You do hear um, like there are people down there.
Okay. I will make my entrance, doing my best to not draw too much attention to myself.
Okay. And I got behind on stuff that I was trying to do. All right. So go ahead and wander in.
Doop doop doo doop doop doo here.
Okay. As you get there, you actually realize that you have to let your eyes adjust a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, because it's actively darker down here than you
Okay.
thought it would be. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. It's
Thank
actually dark down here.
thank gods for dark vision.
Um, it's not like it would be a little bit above low light, basically.
Okay, like it's got that smoky room kind of vibe.
Yes. So the thing that impresses you about it is number one, the floor is stone slash gravel slash dirt, as
Uh-huh.
if this actually is a quarry pit. The
Hmm.
walls are all stone.
Okay.
The ceiling above is actually still stone. It's not high above. You've come down a bunch of steps, but you're still
Mhm.
only going about 10 feet to the ceiling, and it does look like a cave.
Jesus.
Along
Okay.
with the look of the cave itself, there's moss and lichen and all sorts of underground fungusy things that appear to be growing along the walls.
This is my kind of place.
Some of them even phosphoresce ever so slightly, which seems to be the source of light down here.
Ooh, this is cool. Okay.
So this little thing right here,
Oh, yeah,
that little thing right there,
yeah.
is it is actually um, sort of a broken piece of like a ledge.
Hmm.
You like the top
Kind of.
pointy bit of the arrow, say up here, this
Yeah,
is one level.
yeah.
This is the level, this lower piece down here, this is the level that you're on.
Okay.
So
So there's.
this goes up here.
Okay.
This little DN to the left, those stairs go down.
Okay.
These again, the DN, there's a smaller pit here that's actually at a lower level and has a little has something of a little railing about it.
Okay. I like that. That's cool.
Um, so while you're there, looking around, you do notice. Do you look? Well, okay, so I presume you've looked towards that little wall piece,
Yeah.
and
I would have scoped the insides out for a
okay,
minute.
so as you look further in that direction, let's do this. You can see now that you're past that little corner of the wall.
Hmm.
Come on now. Why is not it doing its thing?
Uncooperative technology.
Huh.
Technical difficulties. Boom.
It should be,
Changing the view.
yeah. It should be changing for you, and I'm not sure why it's not.
Uh, I am uncertain.
Well, I'm not a super fan of erasing it. However, there we go. The erase tool seems to work.
Oh,
So
neat.
as you look further along that wall, you can see there to the top of the page, if you will.
Uh-huh.
You could see there are a couple of folks at the bar up there, up higher.
Yep.
And as you look to your left over towards the tables, there are more tables in that direction. You can see there's one gentleman sitting over there who appears to have noticed you and he does appear to be getting up as if he was heading your way. But do me a favor, roll a 20-sider, a perception.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Hold on. That would be a 19.
As you are looking along the bar, the person furthest from you at the bar, sitting on a bar stool, gray circle, not green circle, you look over and you think, oh, I know him.
That's the dude who tried to shake down Tia and I.
Yes, it is in fact.
And is the dude in green the big bruiser dude?
No, he is not. He is
Oh,
somebody that you do not know.
okay. Fascinating. This is great. Love that.
But as you are sort of having a moment where you're like, wait a minute, the
Hi.
the other gentleman that you saw from earlier walks over and says, "May I introduce myself? My name is Reslin."
I didn't even wait for an answer, but it's nice to meet you, Reslin.
Yes, I do appear to have picked up the decidedly human quality of impatience.
I would agree.
Would you be willing to join me for a drink?
Certainly. I
I
believe
have
I'm waiting for someone, but I'll be happy to join you for a drink.
I have reserved us a particular place.
You've reserved us. I see. So I assume, and I'm going to pull out the note, that you
Yes.
were responsible for.
Yes.
I'm going to
Doot
put the
doot
note
doot
away.
doot doot.
I will follow him. Ooh, private room. Look at that.
Exactly.
Moving up in the world.
And this is a very cozy little spot that you could tell just by the feel of it, like whatever conversation's going on in here is not necessarily floating out to the room.
So
This is one of those where you could just sort of chill. It could be a thing.
Interesting.
But it does certainly have, and it has some of the glowing fungus along the wall, or the moss and lichen, whatever.
How aesthetically wonderful.
So it makes it just this really kind of neat little spot that you can sit and have a conversation.
I like that. That's really neat. I like this. That's so cool. So, Reslin, what exactly did you want to have a conversation about?
My hope is that you would be willing
Uh-huh.
to join an organization that I represent.
Huh.
Some would call it a religion. However, I think that terminology may be misplaced. You have, in fact, met one of our members, which is how I came to be in touch with you. You may recall this meeting when you were, I believe, in the mine to the north and west of here.
Yes, I recall that. It was an interesting experience.
Something I have discovered in working with this particular group is
Mhm.
that they have an intensely intriguing view on how things should and should not be handled.
Could you elaborate on that?
They have on many occasions landed in opposition to known authorities.
Uh-huh.
However, it is our stance, viewpoint, if you will, that said known authorities are in the wrong. And what is more just than opposition to those who would do greater damage in the name of their own cause?
Okay. Everyone's somebody's villain. So, you seem to speak quite poetically for someone who described what most would consider uh, a cult of some variety
Hmm.
and involved in less than legal activity. Uh, so, could you be a little more specific? I appreciate poetics, but when it comes to what I was shown in the caves,
Ah, yes. A simple demonstration.
mhm, of
We represent the weavers.
the weavers.
The weavers are those who truly believe in sustaining the web of magic that holds this world together, but allowing it flexibility to have people interact with it, use it, move through it. Those that we oppose are not in favor of that.
How are the people you oppose a threat to the fabric of magic as we
Ah,
know it?
there are two groups, in fact.
Hmm.
One you may be familiar with, the Golden Circle. They wish to lock the web down, to keep it in place, to stop the weave and make it static.
Hmm.
The other group, the truly dangerous amongst groups, call themselves something different. However, they are most colloquially known as the Crimson Crescent.
Hmm. I'm familiar with both of those organizations.
The Crescent is a scourge. They are truly dangerous.
You
They
know,
bring chaos in their wake.
you are the third person to say that. And
Ah,
given what I've run into, I'm inclined to agree.
twice a coincidence, three
Three
times a
times as
pattern.
a pattern. Ugh. So, what is your angle on this? It's just, oh, the flow of magic must be free, and the Crimson Crescent want to abuse it, and the Golden Circle want to control it. What the, to my understanding, the Golden Circle are a bunch of, I won't call them outdated arbitrators, but their belief in Their viewpoint of the world is somewhat static, which is not exactly something I align with, but that's why I'm not a member of the Golden Circle. What? What? Let me ask you this: why should I care? Not in the callous sense that this doesn't, interest me in any way. I'm very interested in the weave and the power that was shown to me. Don't get me wrong. I just want to understand why all of this matters. What could someone gain if they controlled that weave or didn't?
Hmm. In a personal sense or in a larger worldly sense?
The room is too small at the moment to talk about the worldly sense. Let's talk about on a personal level. What kind of megalomaniacal person would go after that? Because on a global sense, it all starts with one person.
How much? How much? How much? There's so much to know. What
Mhm.
if I were to tell you that releasing the chained god would destroy the world?
Tale as old as time, but I would believe you.
Now, as an individual, you presumably would want to preserve the world.
Given that I live in it, yes.
But what if you didn't want to live in it? Could you leave?
Could I leave? As in, jump to another plane? Jump to another world entirely?
Could you? Do you know anyone that has?
No.
And why might that be? Because the
Well,
golden circle will not allow it. So if you wanted to pierce the veil and move beyond, you couldn't. Unless, of course, you knew the weave.
so the weave is this
You have the
quasi.
you have the sight. You can see it.
It is this the magical fabric that makes things what they are. This intangible but tangible thing that touches all things.
But only tangible to some, to greater or lesser degrees.
Which is why when I met your companion in the cave, that little interaction showed an entire new world.
Simply another level. It is still this world, simply with greater understanding.
And so those who controlled the weave could theoretically what bend pieces of reality to their will.
That would be what we call magic, is it not?
Yes, but on a greater scale. It's not exactly
Ah,
every day.
but what if there became a place where there's a hole in the weave?
I would imagine magic would not work there, and I would imagine things would not work the way they are supposed to at all.
And what if there was no one there to weave the pieces of that web back together, to redirect the strands of magic that hold us to our place?
Well, I would imagine then that either the weave itself would fall apart, Or it would just be a weird hole in magic as
Hmm.
we understand it. Not
Increase it. Make the hole bigger. What happens?
expand, and everything would fall apart.
Increase it more. What happens?
Do we just simply cease to exist?
Or come flying apart? Now, if you contain it, if you hold it in place, if you can weave and allow flexibility for things to move and change, then you become the solution. But if you take that weave and you pin it down and you solidify locations, it becomes brittle, unmoving, unforgiving, without an allowance for what the true magic of the world should be.
Can you see it?
My sight is limited.
And yet you believe in it.
Ah, I have seen the results.
What have you seen?
I have seen what happens when a tear is not repaired.
What happens?
Chaos. Unmitigated chaos in a storm that rages across the land.
Hmm.
The circle claims that they want to stop those things, and I believe them. But their methodology has put them in direct conflict with the Crescent.
And then by proxy, you.
We only wish to maintain the weave.
So it sounds like the Crescent and the Circle have decided to keep themselves occupied. So what's going and stopping you from weaving in their inattentiveness?
Hmm. Our numbers are few. There
Hmm.
are not many who would subject themselves, willingly open themselves to power.
Mhm.
But always with restraint, with caution. The truly dangerous are the ones who open themselves to that power without restraint.
Mhm. So how does one go about tapping into this power? It's obvious that it can be done.
Well,
So,
that would be something we reserve the knowledge for those who would commit to working with us,
of course, of course.
which I, side note,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that's when we go to the next level, if that was the thing you were going to do.
Yeah, that'll be a decision made upon on level up whenever
Okay.
we get there because we're soon due, I believe actually, but I'll deal with that later.
Do another perception roll.
That will be well 19, so that'll be a 29.
From your angle, you see just at the edge of your vision, dude who was over at the bar is suddenly hanging around near the entrance to where you are.
Yeah, not at the bar anymore.
Exactly.
Let me double check something. He's right there. I am here. Yeah, he's too far for me still. I am going to look over to Reslin and just kind of just make a move to finger by the lips to hush him for a minute.
Okay.
It seems we have wandering ears.
He clearly he was completely oblivious to whatever was going on. Like as soon as you say that, he stops and he's like, and he reaches out and he puts his hand on the wall and continues to listen. But then doesn't do anything else, takes his hand down. Are you going to continue to talk at all?
I'm going to ask him what he was doing.
Habit, I'm afraid. Attempting to get a sense, a feel if something is near me. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not.
So did I see the guy move away, or
he appears to have moved away as far as you can tell?
Okay. I'm going to look back to Reslin, and this seems like an interesting proposition. I'm no fan of the Golden Circle, and I am certainly no fan of the Crimson Crescent. But there are a few things that I am after, and frankly, if I cannot accomplish my goals through assisting your organization, I don't have much interest in getting involved. So let me be a little bit more direct about my queries. I am interested in scholarly pursuits. I'm sure you will have known some of this by now. And I'm going to just kind of hand wave at one of the mushrooms and just watch as smaller spores just kind of appear on top of the mushroom growing. I am pursuing a particular botanical objective, one that will require time and resources. You are asking for my assistance, and you've given a very good show of your cards for what you have to offer. But I am going to need you to be more specific about certain things.
Okay.
Can you, with this weave, going back to altering reality, the ways of magic, it's obviously something more than just your average mage's ability to tap in to cast spells. What all can this weave do? You say that you yourself don't have much sight, but it's obvious that other members of your organization have powers and abilities beyond yours. So what can they do?
That is a challenging question because the members of our organization span the world. They do tend to remain out of sight.
I
We
see.
attempt to blend. We attempt to work without disrupting the natural flow of events.
I see.
There have been some who have physically altered themselves. There are others who were physically altered before they started and have increased their power.
Fascinating. If I wanted to extend my lifespan, could I do it?
Yes, it's possible. The
Through the
question is
week.
always the cost.
Yes, that is always a question. What would it cost for that kind of price, that kind of gift of time?
Well, that requires service, requires dedication. It requires time.
Yes.
At first, we would simply ask that you maintain contact with us. Give us information as we give you information. Wear our symbol. Avoid unnecessary destruction of natural creatures, particularly weavers.
How would I
And,
spot a weaver?
well, they frequently spin webs,
So spiders.
among others.
You are asking me to not kill spiders.
In particular, but again, among others. And most assuredly, do whatever you can to work against the crescent.
Well, I do hate me a good crescent. So, I'm assuming we can keep in contact through, and I'm going to hold up the pendant. This.
That will be a method for us to find you. He
I-
actually slides, he has a small package
Mhm.
that he slides across the table to you. As he's sliding that package across the table to you,
Mhm.
this dude fills the doorway. Reslin, I think you've had quite enough conversation here. Do a perception check for me.
That would be an. That one is just an 18 with my bonuses.
Pretty easy to see.
Mm.
This dude screams druid and he's wearing a golden circle.
Oh. Oh, great. Oh, that sneaky sly fucker. Oh, okay. They all have the same face. All right.
Yeah, sorry. That's the any of the green circles
Yeah,
are it's green circles are different. Green circles are different. That's part of my I don't have a bunch of dudes.
I need more faces.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to get some different faces and I was like, nope, ran out of time.
you you sly bastard.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's not the guy from the gang.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember the gang's name?
It was like rock dust,
Stone Dust. The Stone
stone
Dust gang.
dust, stone dust gang. Yeah, that one. Dust gang. Yeah. Okay.
And
Oh,
the dude that you were thinking of, his name is Sequius.
Sequius of the stone dust gang.
Yes. As you are standing or sitting there, and this dude is standing there,
Mm-hmm.
you realize he reaches behind him.
Mm-hmm.
You do, and you can see there are other dudes out there,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls out what look like brass shackles,
Mm-hmm.
but they have symbols along them.
Those are I feel that in my gut that those are to stop people from being able to cast.
And do me a favor, roll a 20-sider for, say, initiative.
Oh, piss. Oh no. Oh no. It was gonna happen at some point.
Let's see. What is he up to?
We're gonna make some choices.
What was your initiative number?
In total, 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I laugh out loud at that one?
Yes, yes, you did. And that is okay.
Actually,
Uh,
that likely works dramatically in your favor.
okay. I don't feel like that makes me feel much better, but I will be more than happy to accept that. Oh shit. Oh shit.
The gray circles
Uh-huh.
are Sequius and his thug buddy.
Oh, the brawler.
The brawler is the blonde one.
Oh shit.
And Sequius peeks his head into your little area
Uh-huh.
and says, well, it's our funny dealing scholar friend.
Uh-huh.
And the dude with the shackles says, you should move along.
Uh-huh.
At that point, Sequius says, I don't think so. I think the Stone Dust gang owns this place, and you need to go. At which point, Brawler grabs these two dudes by their collar. One of them goes down here. Boop. Over the rail. Ah! And Fancy Dude gets his head slapped off the wall really hard.
Ooh.
You hear a wet thump.
Ooh. Oh no.
Immediately after that, you hear mumble, 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 and Reslin leaps onto the wall and moves to the ceiling,
What?
crawling as if a spider.
Ah, okay.
And then dude with the chainmail hat simply says, "Ah, blast you." And he starts mumble, mumble, mumble. Except as soon as he does that, Sequius reaches in and apparently was waiting for this moment
Mm-hmm.
because it looks an awful lot like he stabbed this guy in the armpit. And it totally disrupts whatever it was dude was trying to do. And
Holy shit.
he shoves dude to one side as he's driving the knife into him. And he peeks over his shoulder and says, "All right, Mr. Scholar, let's see if you can make it to the door."
The accident, everybody tackled it turned into a ballroom blitz.
What do you do? It's your turn.
Well, I've got some spells for this.
Okay.
I think. I hope. This is the Ballroom Blitz is the appropriate theme song for this event. Let me double check something.
I actually like Love Is Like Oxygen much better.
Oh my god, with the blink of our eye. Let me just gotta find this, or is that wizard? Really? I can't seem to. All right, let me look it up.
What are you looking for?
Spell description.
Is it regular player's handbook?
Yes, it is, but I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, do I? Do not. All right. I am going to look around and say, well, it was fun meeting you all, but it is time for me to go. And I'm going to move up and over into 5 feet of this poor guy here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Chill Touch on
Good
my
one.
way. On my way by. Actually, hold on. Let me just double check something real quick.
Okay. Is that one actually druidic? Because you're still under druid, right?
This one is Chill Touch is a necromancy cantrip, but you do get that for this particular
Oh yeah,
druid
yeah.
setup.
For the yeah. Sorry.
Druid spores. Yeah, no, it's good. I'm going to cast Chill Touch. And I need to make this is a spell attack, so I need to make an attack roll for it. Do. Okay, that one is that's a 24 to hit.
Oh yeah, well, you hit.
And she'll touch, so he is gonna take 1d8 of necrotic damage. Okay, so that is just gotta make sure I don't have anything. That is just 3 points of necrotic damage, and then as a reaction, the halo of spores around me. I'm going to use my reaction to inflict additional damage on him, and he needs to make me a Constitution save.
Oh, good. Because the way I've been rolling, this should work out well.
It can't be worse than my nat 1 for initiative. So
12.
okay, let me just double check what the DC to beat is. Oh, it's 13. Yeah, no, he fails that one.
Dirt. And takes an additional.
Hold on, let me just double check. It's a D4. 2 points of necrotic damage.
So 5 total.
Correct.
Ugh. He is exceptionally unhappy.
Yes. He is severely wounded. And
He staggers against the rail.
And I would like to, since I used 10 feet to get from there to there, I'm going to look at him and say, I don't want to kill you, but I will if you get in my way. And keep moving. Oh God, there are so many of them. Hold on. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. No, that's not what I wanted. Ah. What? All right, so that's 10 and that's 20 feet. So hold on. That's dang nabbit. I'm still getting used to this. So this was 10 feet, and then from. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my
good.
full 30.
We're good. Okay. You are at the bottom. You see your buddy from Stone Dust come rushing across and slam into that person that just came running around the corner.
Holy shit.
They go crashing into the chairs.
What do you feed that man?
Sequius looks over his shoulder and says, "That man," pointing at another person nearby. Go, go. And he proceeds to endeavor to stick the knife into that dude again. Ooh, he does not do the right thing. And
Man in the back said everyone attack going to turn into a ball.
yeah, that was his move. You then see Reslin is suddenly up here on the ceiling. And seems to be moving relatively easily that way. And at the same moment, you hear mumble, mumble, mumble. Dude with the chainmail hat slaps your buddy right on the side of the head and says, "Stop."
That's
and he does.
Ooh,
completely. Okay, so this dude gets up, but he is staggering around the table. He is not going to be able to get out of the pit this time. This dude staggers over here, draws out a short sword, and is looking to stab at the ceiling. And this dude is coming after you.
Okay.
He is armed with a club.
Okay.
And he would like to club you. He is going to attempt to do that.
Okay.
What is your armor class?
I currently have an AC of 14.
Blast. He missed you by that much. You're like, club. Not cool, not cool, not cool.
I lived in the forest long enough to know how to dodge a branch.
um, do. That guy, that guy, that guy. He did his thing to you.
Okay. Well, now I can't just bail on my buddies. I gotta help them out, get stuck in with the boys. Because they're a bunch of judges and they're like law enforcement. Yeah.
He
This
told you to
is
run.
Yeah, he did. He did. But
It has every look like they're trying to cover for you.
uh yeah. Yeah, I gotta render at least a couple of these boys unconscious. Again, just leave them there. It's a matter of principle at this point. Yeah. So is it back down to me or
It's you right now.
okay? Well, I've got more cantrips where that came from. Uh, but also, let's see how this works. Well, actually, now I've got a dude inside of stabbing range. I don't like that. So I'm going to use a reaction real quick to inflict some damage on the dude directly in front of me with the club.
Okay.
So he needs to make me a con save.
Eh. No.
What do you got?
A 2.
Yeah, no. He's going to take just. That's just a singular point of necrotic damage.
Okay.
As a mushroom spore just kind of explodes on contact with him.
Blech.
And then I am going to wait, hold on. Actually, I'm going to expend. Well, yeah, no, I'm not. I am in close. I am going to take a step. I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna move. So 5, 10, 15, 15 feet. He's gonna get an attack of opportunity on me.
Okay.
Just because I left of that using disengage.
Is that at an advantage or is that just a single attack?
Just a single.
Okay. Wow, he sucks. You scared him and he almost drops his club.
To be fair, people tend to not react kindly to things exploding in their face that they did not previously see. And at that distance, I am now going to cast Ray of Sickness on. Hold on, let me double check. Do I want to do it on the dude with the coif?
Okay.
I need him to make me a Constitution saving throw.
13.
That this will be a DM call. For making saves against attacks, do they have to meet and exceed or just exceed the DC?
That's a good question. I would think that would be a rule.
I
So it used to be tie goes to the monster.
goes to the monster.
However, I don't know with 5e.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Come on, index. Oh, well, I guess it would help if I knew my alphabet, huh? There we go. 238, 239.
Oh wait, I read this wrong as well.
Okay.
Well, first tell me, I'm assuming a 24 hits.
Yes, easily.
Okay. Then yeah, make that Constitution save.
Right.
Oh, oh no.
What?
Just let me know if they pass or fail that con save. Oh,
Uh,
I really don't want to kill these guys.
it totally doesn't help. And I honestly don't remember.
Let me double check real quick. Or exceed still.
What's that?
It is meet or exceed still in
Meet
favor
or
of.
exceed. Okay.
Yeah, so it met a 13, so it passed the save.
Okay.
So it still took 16 points of poison damage.
Oh, Jesus. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, if they would have failed it, it would have been poisoned until the end of my next turn. So they would have taken more damage.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, I could tell that one fucking hurt.
Yep. Okay. So he looks less than healthy and staggers off to the side and falls to a knee. Oh.
I don't want to kill any of you, but you're making it real difficult.
Okay, that was you. So back to the top. Uh this dude sees his friend not moving, sort of has a freak out moment, and dives into these two.
Ooh. Okay.
This guy was smart enough to step aside. This guy, however,
Ooh.
does not. He you you hear the sickening crunch
Ooh.
of something breaking, and that guy goes down in a heap and doesn't move.
Thank God it's non-lethal damage. Please be non-lethal damage. Holy shit.
And he dumps that guy over the rail into the lower area as well. So that was him. Other guy can't move. This guy moves to here on the ceiling, and you hear mumble, 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 and another spell goes off. Any guesses what it would be?
I have some concerns. So, and it goes off.
You're right at the edge of a web.
Oh, how very drow of him.
Yes, but those creatures don't exist in this world.
Ah,
He's a
that's
weaver.
fair. He is a weaver. Okay.
Go. I will be in touch.
Please don't kill any of them.
And he starts going that way.
All of them have gotten the crap beaten out of them or are stuck. Okay.
This guy doesn't. That guy that just moved. He's kind of staggering around, looking around like, what the hell? He sees the boss man that's on the ground. Nobody's giving him orders. He just sort of stops figuring stuff out on his own. and he kind of flounders. He's like, are the two guys in the web are stuck, and this guy moves to away from Rage Dude, and is attempting to assist his leader. That is all of their moves. It is down to you. What do you do?
It looks like most of them are gonna live. And I really don't want to be responsible for anybody's death immediately. I'm just gonna yell out, "Don't kill anyone. That's gonna make it more difficult." And then I'm gonna fucking leave.
Well done, well done, well done.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
There you go. Well done.
Yeah, and use a dash action to GTFO.
Oh, excuse me. Goodbye.
We are advancing towards future victories.
There you go.
I am a scholar for a reason. And I didn't have anybody who was going to come in at the last minute and save me.
Well, yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, nope, you're on your own.
Yeah, I am rolling solo this time. Oh man, that's great. I love that.
Okay.
Is that session adjourned?
We can stop the record there, yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna stop the recording.